Hello YouTube, welcome back to Assetto Corsa and welcome to the first part of the 1.7 and Red Pack review. So, 1.7 and Red Pack, 2-in-1, it's coming close to the console release time as of the time I'm actually making this video. So let's jump right into it. What's involved and what's included in 1.7 or the Red Pack? We'll start with the Red Pack, the cars. Ferrari 488 GT3. Straight out, another GT3 car. Two Formula 1 cars, the Ferrari F138, which is a V8. Nice car, actually. And the Ferrari SF15T. Now, that car is going to have a whole episode on its own next week. We've got the Lamborghini Aventador LP750-4 Super Veloce, which is exactly what I'm driving right now. We've got the Maserati 250F 6-cylinder and 12-cylinder. There's another two Formula 1 cars there, made famous by none other than Juan Manuel Fangio. We've got another Maserati, the Gran Turismo MC GT4, and another Maserati. So, yeah, 4 Maseratis. This one's actually an SUV. This is included in the 1.7 update. So, we'll be looking at that SUV as well in another episode. I think I'll take a look at those somewhere else. And what else have we got? Well, of course, we've got this track. This is the Red Bull Ring, otherwise known as the Ostrich Ring, or known as the A1 Ring, depending on what era you grew up in. If you grew up in the 70s, it was the Ostrich Ring or something. If you grew up in the 90s and early 2000s like me, it was the A1 Ring, and now it's, of course, the Red Bull Ring. Hence, you'll see probably a Red Bull somewhere, or a brown bull. I don't think it's red. Anyway. We'll start by talking about the track, and then we'll go into a bit more about 1.7, and then we'll go into the car. And we'll try and make this quick because this is going to be a shortish video. So, this track has 9 corners, 4.326 kilometers. There's actually 2 versions available. There's a short GP, there's this GP version available, and like a club version available, which takes a much shorter route. So there is that as well. The lap record on this track is held by Michael Schumacher with a 1 minute 8.337 in his Ferrari F2003 Formula 1 car. The track itself, fair amount of undulation. I mean, you can see here it's going uphill and then it's going to continue rising, and then once we get to, I suppose, turn 3, it starts dropping down again back into sort of the valley. So you can see it's just continuing to rise here. It's a nice track. And one thing I'm going to notice, and whoever follows Formula 1 is probably going to notice this as well, as we go around, and I do check this, there doesn't seem to be those weird yellow dangerous curbs. You know, the ones that when you go too far off, it just destroys your suspension, as it did on a number of cars. So there you go. So that seems to be missing. Thank goodness. I'm actually happy about that, which means that this was laser scanned before those were introduced. So it has to be, laser scanned possibly a year ago. I think it's probably laser scanned a year ago. So there we have it. I mean, this is a fantastic track. I really like this track. It is one of my favorite tracks. So I'm really glad that it's in Assetto Corsa. What don't I like about this track? Nothing, actually. What don't I like about this overall is actually an engine limitation, not a track limitation, and that is the fact that there's no dynamic weather in Assetto Corsa, and I think there has to be weather and dynamic weather in Assetto Corsa for us to really enjoy this track, because this is one of those tracks where you get, rain on one half of the track and sunshine on the other half of the track, and it gets foggy, and, there, you can see, none of those weird yellow dangerous curbs. So, yeah, I am kind of saying that that's a downside, but that's an engine limitation, not a track limitation, so there's nothing, nothing to be said about that. It's a really awesome track to drive, like I said, but the lap time, if you want to get a good lap time, you've got to be very, very good on the brakes here, and I wasn't. I wasn't brilliant on the brakes, but I was learning the track and I was learning this car. I've never actually done this track in anything other than a Formula 1 car before. And even that, it was once a mod in Assetto Corsa, and before that, it was a long time ago that I'd taken a car out on this particular track. So there we have it, this is my first time on this track in a road car. Hey, what do you know? I think I'm doing okay, and the road car that I've picked is the Lamborghini Aventador LP750-4 Super Veloce, or SV, so you can see the SV on the side in the replay box. A bit bit too brash for my liking. Just having that SV on that rear wing. Well, not the rear wing, but the rear... what do you call it? It is a wing. It is a wing, but I don't mean the wing on the back. Yeah, moving on. 1,525 kilograms. It's a heavy car, even though they have managed to shave about 50 kilos or so off it. But it is a heavy car with 750 bhp at its maximum 8,500 RPM, which happens to be its rev limit as well. So you get the maximum power at its rev limit. Interesting choice. Very linear power band. You know, it's almost a straight line all the way up, so that's quite impressive as well. And 690 newton meters of torque at 5,500 RPM, that's a lot of torque. That is a lot of torque, and you do feel it. And here we go. Traction control off, ABS off. Let's see what I can do. From a standing start, this has a 0 to 60 of 2.8 seconds, and of course that's all propelled by a 6.5 litre naturally aspirated V12 engine. So it's a powerful, big V12 beast, just as the flagships of Lamborghini always should be. And they always have been, actually. Four-wheel drive, hence the 4 on the actual name, 750-4. But honestly, it feels... I mean, there are times where it feels a bit more like a rear-wheel drive, and the top speed of this car is 219 miles per hour or thereabouts. So, yeah, you're gonna go of quite fast in this car if you're not careful. And the acceleration figures are pretty phenomenal. Not as fast as the Huracan. I forgot which Huracan, but the top model of the Huracan. Not as fast as that, but still 0.3 off. For a car that's a lot heavier, I was kind of surprised, and as you can see, I'm struggling a bit with lack of traction and, you know, really understanding the car and things like that, but I do get better. Speaking of that, though, as with all big Lambos, there is that built-in feeling of understeer. I mean, all the Lamborghinis seem to have it. You just feel like they're all trying to push just a little bit towards understeer, and you have to push the car towards oversteer to really get a lot out of it, or you know, get a nice feeling out of it. And I think that is why Lamborghinis are known to be those kind of cars that try and kill you, you know, big Lamborghinis, because you're always trying to fight the understeer by pushing the car towards oversteer. And of course that's normal. Some cars have this, you know, built in. I don't think there's anything wrong with it. I think it just feels different, especially with the four-wheel drive system. This one probably has a bit more towards understeer than I would like, but when you push it towards oversteer, of course it starts over rotating on you, and you have to catch that. And you know, you've got all of that. Daytime running lights, they work. So you do have daytime running lights. They do look kind of cool. And paint. Might as well talk about the paint. You guys, you'll see that I've got this in this bright blue color. I've picked that color for one reason and one reason only, and that is because one of the first cars I got in Gran Turismo 5 supercars was a Lamborghini Murcielago LP... Ooh, what was it? Was it 650? LP750-4, which happened to be in that particular color. And so I decided, let me actually use that color. But there are loads of colors available and loads of combinations within the colors available, actually down to the colors of the brake calipers. So there is quite a nice amount of stuff there. Since we're on colors, might as well talk about texturing and modeling. As typical with Kuno standards, they're absolutely fantastic modeling, absolutely fantastic texturing as well. It does look exactly as you would expect from a Super Veloce. It does have as you can see, the rev indicators are blue now, as was in this model, and the yellow was sort of highlighted a bit more, so this is exactly what the real car's like. And inside, I think it's really, really well made. I have looked around. I mean, you might see me look around a little bit more, but there is a fair amount of good detailing in the car, especially even on the seats. You seem to have that Y shape that you get on the front headlights. It's got that Y shape on the actual seats as well, so that's kind of a fancy. And I do like this angle, you know, this angular look on the steering wheel. Instead of the you know, it being sort of an oval shape in the middle, it's sort of got this angular look all the way around, and it's kind of nice. As I go off again, this time not judging the brakes correctly. Speaking of brakes, it is a little bit squirrely on braking with ABS off, so that's why I was a bit too cautious. But you do actually have that opportunity to brake really, really hard into corners. I was surprised at how hard you could actually brake with ABS off, and it is a lot more fun. Like I said, with traction control and ABS off, it is pretty fun. Traction's actually really good even with traction control off, and the slides aren't too difficult to predict, and it's a fairly predictable car, so you can catch a slide fairly decently. But as you can see, I'm kind of taking it easy because I don't want to do too much on it. Sounds of this car, I'm not too sure. They sound decent, but it's not. As with the whole car, it doesn't feel as in your face as other Lamborghinis, or even the sounds just don't feel as in your face as other cars. I wanted this to be more oomph. I needed more oomph in the car, especially in external view, but there isn't, especially when the car's coming towards you. There really isn't, so it wasn't really that exciting, the sounds. I think a bit disappointing on them. The physics, but like I said, the physics, they feel like a big Lambo. Plenty of power in the car. Traction control off, you can feel it on the corner exit. I think that's where you really do feel it, as you know, the car spools up and your revs are going up, and you've got obviously 660 newton meters of torque to play with, 690 newton meters of torque to play with, and you do feel it as you come out these corners. You'll feel it just give a slight kick at the back if you're not too careful, so you do have to catch that. But it's really fun. It is really, really fun, and I think overall I've got to give this car I think I'll give this car an 8.5. I think I've got to give this car an 8.5. We'll have to see what the rest of the cars bring. I haven't tried them all, so we will have to see what the rest of the cars bring, and maybe this one might go up, maybe this one might go down. I don't know, but let me know in the comments box what you guys think. Is it worth an 8.5? You've driven it. What do you guys think about it? Is it understeer, or is it just me, or does it have a little bit of understeer? And do you find that the sounds are a bit dull? That's what I want to know. So, a couple of minutes to go on this episode. Like I said, bit of a short episode, but busy. What else do we have to talk about in the actual 1.7? So we've got the cars obviously, and we've got the Red Bull ring included, but 1.7's also done some, made some changes, like saving and loading for fixed setup sessions. We've got that. They've done some turbo sound behavior. They've on the Mazda RX-7. I told you that was a bit odd. Some other ones for the Ferrari F40, the Alfa Romeo 155, new exterior sounds for the E92 BMW. So you've got a bit of that. You've got brake disc temperature simulation as well, only on some cars at the moment. So the Ferrari 488 GT3, the Maserati Gran Turismo MC GT4 car, both of them have brake disc temperature simulation. So that's interesting. We've got a few new variants. Version 10, this is on version 10. We've got tyre version 10, which is kind of crazy. So yeah, we've got that, and tyre pressure now does influence the temperature spread and build up. So that's all, all of this is building up quite nicely. We've got daytime running lights, of course. We've also got a whole bunch of new systems for cycling back or forward through traction control and ABS, as well as flashing lights. So you'll probably see that in a couple of weeks' time when I take a look at the Ferrari 488 or something. You'll see that you can flash the headlights. I haven't checked which cars it's on yet, but it seems to be on that one, so there you go. There is you do have blinking lights in the pit as well, so you've got that as well. And generally, as you can see, I do get a bit of a slide on. I do like that. Generally, I think they've just made a whole bunch of they've done a whole bunch of changes to the lighting system, the tires, and also the AI. They've actually improved the AI. Apparently, I've seen a few videos of this. The AI are really, really good. So that's something I will be checking. Probably when I check the Ferrari, I'll probably have it against AI. yeah, I think I'll do that. So I think I'll end this episode here. Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to hit the like button if you like this video, subscribe to our channel for more videos on Assetto Corsa, and leave a comment in the comments box below. Screen went blank a little too early. I'll see you guys next week.